You don't need to tell anyone what you're building. In fact, you should go ghost, go incognito, go invisible, because you don't need validation from other people in your life for what you're building. You should let the results speak for themselves. Now, I just want to apologize. The audio, it's raining, but I'm making content regardless. Like, I'm going to talk about it a bit later, that you're going to have bad days and you don't need to pretend to be something you're not. You don't need to try to show up for the best version every single time. We just need to get out there, and we got to stop worrying about what other people think. So I've got my notes here. I'm going to go over them. And this is why we got to stop telling people. Don't worry about what they think. Just build what you're building. Now, the first thing is people don't need to understand. And initially we want to tell people because we're excited, right? Well, whatever we're building, we have some passion, we're driven, and we want to create something good. And we want to tell the people around us what we're building, right? But we don't need them to understand. And I want to tell you about two of my mates. Now, they're not just my mates, right? These are my best friends. They were my best men at my wedding. But they lived two completely different lives to me. One is in his late 30s. He's a wellness, yoga instructor, and he's building like his business, and that's what he's focusing on. The other one is same age as me. He's a high income earner, and he's looking to travel. He wants to go snowboarding, and he wants to go like traveling around the world. And whilst they will support anything that I do, I know that what I'm building, the YouTube, I don't need to send them here, especially when you're beginning, right? Even if you know they're going to support you, when you're beginning, especially if it's on social media, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is, we got to let the algorithm do its thing. Now, my first mate, he's got like wellness, yin yoga algorithm everywhere. My other friend, he's got snowboarding all on his algorithm. He's got like Europe and all this other stuff. And YouTube's going to get confused. YouTube's going to get confused because they don't need to understand as well, because I'm on a different journey, right? I've got a young family. I want financial freedom to give back time to my family. They don't get it, right? They don't get it. And then also like going into the second point is they're not necessarily my audience. Whilst they will support me, they're not my audience. My audience are people, generally probably younger families. If you're a dad or you're a mum, you're in your 30s, you could be later in life. Drop a comment down below. Let me know where you're at in the stage of financial freedom, how old you are. But we want our time back. This is a big focus. We want to reclaim our time. We want enough money to have a sense of freedom, not to be slaves to our employers. That's my audience. They're the people that are going to watch my videos and be like, all right, I'm getting something out of this. Okay, now your audience will find you. And your audience will find you quicker. And it's actually a mistake I made, especially with my Instagram, which is separate from my financial freedom journey. It's actually about just creating content. Like I just made it, sharing my journey of becoming a dad, and it's just about creating content. And initially, I got all my friends over from Facebook, right? Everyone that I knew, and it disrupted the algorithm. They weren't liking my stuff because they didn't understand. Going back, they didn't understand what I was building. They weren't my audience. All right. So what you got to do is you just got to post. You just got to show up consistently, and you just got to put yourself out there. And the more you create, and this doesn't have to be social media. This doesn't have to be online. This could be whatever business. Just put it out there, advertise, and then you'll find your audience. If you know your audience already, to speak directly to them. Like I know my audience because it's me, especially me like 3 years ago. I wanted financial stability. I've worked towards that. I want financial freedom. So hopefully in 5 years, I'm speaking to who I am right now. So that I know who I'm speaking to. And I'm speaking exactly to you. You're like, man, he wants exactly what I want. I'm not speaking to my two best friends that want to build a wellness business and want to travel the world. Like they're not my people right now. Now, you got to stop announcing yourself to everybody. And I think this is a big mistake, because we look at social media and how social media is used as a social aspect is like on Instagram, we post the best versions of ourselves. It's like a highlight reel of our lives. Now, when we're creating content, like it's raining, the audio might be bad today, but I'm just creating, I'm just building. And you got to stop announcing yourself, because when you try to announce, you want to show up the best. And building whatever you're building, it's going to be hard. You're going to have bad days. And if you're worried about your best version to be available for those days, you're going to quit. You're not going to show up, and you're not going to be consistent. And we got to be consistent. We got to show up all the time. So stop announcing and just create. Just create. We don't need to tell, our 300 friends on Facebook about it. We just got to put it out there. You're going to get 10 views. You might get 3 views on your initial videos. But the more you put out, the more you create, YouTube are going to be like, okay, these are the people that are actually this content is for. Especially if you're building online, especially if you're building YouTube. If it's a business, it's the same thing. Okay, so just start creating. Creating is going to give you the muscle, all right? So I was creating on Instagram, like I said, just to create. And it wasn't for building like a personal brand, anything like that. It was just to learn how to create. And I wasn't telling everyone, like I did initially, and then I stopped. I was like, I don't need people to understand this journey I'm going on. They don't understand that this content is to create, so I can then create other things. All right, it's not their business. Right? They don't need to understand. So stop trying to live up to an expectation of other people. And that's actually my next point. You don't need to look successful. And when we're showing up for our friends, that highlight reel comes into it. We try to show up the best, most successful version of ourselves. Now, I would suggest, and this is what I'm doing because it's remove the friction, it's made it easy to produce content, is just be authentic. Just be yourself. Just share what you're going through, because someone wants to be in the shoes that you're in today. It could be who you were 2 years ago. It could be who you were 5 years ago. But someone is like, oh, this is where I want to be. So you might feel like I don't have any value. You got value, man. You got value, and make sure you know that. But if you document your journey, someone's interested in that journey, but you have to be authentic. Now, I'm starting to see a lot of Instagram shorts, and they're like this, right? Like they got their phone here and they're like reading the chat GPT like this, and cut that. Like, these are my notes. They're dot points. The dot points are things I've written down about this topic that I want to talk about. And you have to be you. Stumble on your words. Show up authentically, because I can get the answer. I can get the answer to these questions from AI, but I can't get a lived experience through AI. And that's what's going to become more and more prominent. So yeah, just be authentic, man, and just drop away from everybody. Stop trying to please your friends. Just show up for who you are, and your people will find you. So going on the same kind of topic is when we try to give our highlight reels, when we keep asking people, this is another reason why we should just ghost. This is why we should go invisible, because the people around us change how we show up. Right? It's because not all aspects of our life is shared to everybody in our life. And one version of me sometimes isn't shown to everybody. And if I try to be that version in front of other people, it might change who I actually am. Like my work colleagues, right? I'm not going to show up to them like this, because I'm basically saying, I want to leave work. Your work friends aren't your real friends. That's my real opinion. But at work, I show up, I do my job. I keep interactions to a minimum because I'm there to get paid. And I don't need to share them everything that's gone in my life. But I'm not going to let them stop me from being who I am and sharing this journey properly, because I'm worried about if they see it. I'm not going to share it to them. I'm not going to show them. So if they stumble across it, maybe they're on the same journey, because the algorithm showed it to them for a reason. So don't go into content, inviting all your friends, and then worrying about what they think. Just be you. Just be you, especially in this area that you're sharing. If you niche down, just share your honest, authentic self. Don't ask ChatGPT. Just share you. Okay, now, basically the last one is, don't need any more notes, is let the results speak for themselves. Go invisible. So funny, my Instagram started popping off. I doubled my views in the past, doubled my subscribers, actually more than doubled my subscribers in the past week. And then I had a message from one of my initial high school friends, and he messaged me, man, I love your content, you're doing so well, keep it up. It's where were you months ago when I was building this, when I was thinking about quitting because no one was resonating with my content and you weren't liking it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because I kept showing up, I kept creating, and they will find you. When it starts to work, all right, you're not cringe anymore. Let the results speak for themselves. When you have built what you're trying to build, when you have that freedom, they're going to come for you. They're going to come to you, they're going to ask you, how'd you do it? And you're just going to be go watch my videos. Let the results speak for themselves. Go invisible. Like, this is where I love people that, like, I don't see for 6 months, and then I come and see them again and they've lost that weight. They didn't tell me, hey, I'm gonna go on a diet, I'm gonna do this, and then I just don't see the results. They go away, they come back shredded. Like, I love that, and that's what we're doing with our business. We're going away, we're coming back with that shredded financial freedom. That's what we're doing. And if you're on the same journey, don't forget, like and subscribe. Drop a comment. Let me know which one of these points you agree with the most. Are you telling people? If you're telling people, like, don't worry about it, man. Like, just do you, be authentic, and just keep working, man. Just keep working. I'll see you on the next video.